afternoon or good evening to you all. What a performance! Spain 7, Costa Rica nil. With me, I've got Alexandro from Spain, Madrid. The best person, the perfect one to review this game. And look, my man, I really appreciate you coming along. I know you only have like 20 minutes of your time, but you know, you're always welcome. It's my pleasure to have you. And yeah, my man, what a win. I'm sorry, my computer seems to just like been messing about. I'm going to try and fix a few inches in here. But Alexandro, my man, what a
It
performance.
was. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, honestly, when you were talking before, I was like, oh yeah, today will be a good game to review. But after the seven, oh my God, it was just from the beginning to the end. It just never stopped. It is just that team is just so ready to go. It's so young, so eager. I'm so excited for the next couple games, especially after that Germany loss. That game's going to be just so much more interesting. But I don't know. Me and you were talking last week, and we spoke about how important the chemistry is. And when the lineups came out this morning, I was so worried about Rodri's playing center back with Laporte. I just didn't know if that was going to work. I liked the idea of playing with Rodri out of the back, but I just wasn't sure. But those two together, the chemistry was just there. Pedri, Gavi, Busquets, the chemistry was just there. I was worried about Gavi being so young, first real big stage on the international stage, and the chemistry just everything just linked, and they were able to play just through the Costa Rica line every single time because they just have that chemistry together. It was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? From minute one till the end, even you saw, the players that come on, right? Everyone that come on, like Morata, Balde, every single one that come on, yeah, they still come on like the game was still 0-0. There was not stop running. Basically, they was trying to prove to Luis Enrique, we in here, we good enough as well. We want to start as well in the next game. I mean, it was just crazy. What a performance! And do you know what? I will ask you just before you go. I mean, in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I will ask you your man of the match. But my man of the match for me was every single one. Even Luis Enrique today, he deserves it. I mean, he's just crazy. What a performance. I'm still in shock. You're right. I mean, it's just crazy how to see, like you mentioned as well, a very young squad. Yeah. Let's not forget,
Mm.
this Spain has a lot of young players. We saw Gavi today. And do you know what? I haven't seen Gavi performance like having a performer like this probably since last season. Couple of games he had for Barca, but I mean, what a game! What a way to start in the World Cup. Germany lost to Japan as well, and wow, I mean, it's just crazy how to see. But before I ask you a few questions, look, my computer, I don't know what. Look, is I've done a few live streams. I don't know what is going on with my computer. The internet seems to just not work. Look, everything's just been very slow. I think when I look on my phone, the stream seems alright. I mean, look, it's just completely blocked. But people, unfortunately, I'm so sorry. This never happened before. And yeah, in here, a live chat, I'm just gonna go through some of the people in the live chat. It might take time to come up because my internet, honestly, I think that was Piers Morgan did something to my internet because I've told him about Spain, maybe win the World Cup, and he did not agree with me. No, I'm sorry. But by the way, Lemmy Frommenberg says, well done, Spain. Great game. I can't say nothing today. I think that was just that performance, 1 out of 10. They deserve 11 because that was absolutely unbelievable. And True Gunner, big up to you, and also big up to Lemon Frommenberg. Say Spain were fucking fantastic. There was just not much to describe. Their performance today was unreal. If we play like today, Spain will win 3 or 4-0. He's talking about German because I guess he's from German. He's always on my live
Hmm.
streams. But yeah, look, what's a performance? I mean, wow, wow, wow. From minute one till the end. I've got a few questions to bring up to you, but then looks like my computer is not letting me bring any questions up, right? But Spain, right? That first half, right? Spain in the game with almost what 80%, like 12 shots. I mean, Costa Rica basically did. they couldn't even get through the halfway Spain halfway line. They could just
Mm.
not do anything. I mean,
No,
that
it's
first 45 minutes.
in the first half, right? It was 3-0 at the end of the game. It was 3 shots on target, 3 goals. At the end of the game, 8 shots on target, 7 goals. Like again, like Kaylor today, really, I was really expecting Kaylor to come out and really say something for PSG, but it just shows that like we haven't seen him much at PSG, and this is why. Like Kaylor really disappointed that Asensio goal. There was just a couple today that just like it Kaylor should have been there and he wasn't there. And it just I think that it was that definitely was for me was a shocker because I was really expecting. I thought Duna came in like PSG obviously paid a lot of money for her and they put Kaylor on the bench, but Kaylor was still had class. But today, I think we saw why PSG has not been playing Kaylor for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been playing. Donnarumma's been playing instead of him. But like I said, yeah, I will agree with you. He actually made quite a few mistakes today, and
Mm-hmm.
at least he could have saved. If that was the Keylor Navas that we knew from Madrid, you as a
Oh
Madrid
yeah.
fan, you've
Mm-hmm.
watched the guy play plenty of times, having an amazing performance, and also winning everything with Madrid. But today, at least, I would say about 3 to 4 goals he probably could have done it better. But like I was mentioning, I just checking the stats now, right? So first half Spain end with 85% of the ball, normal, typical. You know, that first half from I was on Twitter and I actually tweet and I said, this is the Spain that we used to see, right? Tiki taka, sexy football, connection between everyone was unreal. And yeah, they finished with 85%, right? They only, I know first half they had 3 shots on target, they scored 3 goals, but then they had quite a few shots. But then they was creating chances, there was create spaces as well all over the game. I mean, it's just crazy. And also they end up the game, right, with 82% of the ball, 7 shots on target, 7 goal. I mean, that is just amazing. You know, you're having 7 shots on target and you score 7 goals, but then they had few quite other shots, but they create so many chances. And guess what? Costa Rica, they didn't even create basically one chance. I can't even remember they having like a cross, like a dangerous cross.
Mm-hmm.
There was never threat for Spain through the whole game, not even to score 1 goal. I mean, it just some of the players that I was like Ferran Torres, right? He plays for Barca. You know, I'm a Barca support. I've never been a big fan of Ferran Torres. I know, like just before the World Cup, he actually scored quite a few goals for Barca, and he's actually been playing well for Barca in the last few games just before the World Cup. But today, you clearly saw his connection with Gavi, Pedri, Jordi Alba, and let's get another big shout out as well for Jordi Alba because I thought Jordi Alba he didn't had a good start for Barca. For some reason, I don't know what is the reason that Xavi keeps dropping him, but then he did play quite a few games just before the World Cup for Barca. He's still showing with his age that he can be very important, not also for Barca, for Spain, because I thought Jordi Alba had an amazing game until basically he came off. For me, he was probably one of the best players in the pitch. And to be honest, I think the whole Spain squad played amazing today. But then you saw Balde, a very young left back who was just cool basically last minute due to someone else injured.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw him coming on, and basically he wants to show Luis Enrique that I got quality as well. I'm young, but I can play a high level. It was just crazy. You saw Morata coming on as well. I mean, every single one that come on, and it was good to see as well. Also, Luis Enrique trying to rest, you know, like Pedri and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just to be honest, I could say so much about this game. I'm so in shock that I thought Spain would win. I think I predicted them to win 3-0 or 3-1, but 7-0 and performing the way they did. I mean, come on. It's not only me, and also I think today's Spain's performance, I think this is a wake up call for every big sharks in this World Cup.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they played well. They really damaged Costa Rica big time. And, you know, coming into the World Cup, having a performance like this, winning your first game, surely that will give you the confidence. And seeing German lose as well today, that will take them less pressure now. Go into the second game. They know that even if they're not going to win the second game, they still have chance to qualify by basically winning the last game. But yeah, look, I said about Luis Enrique before the tournament started. I said I like him. He did an amazing job at Barca. I think he's a very, very good manager. And I say in the last Euros, Spain played really good football. They just could not finish. Very unlike against Italy, but he's given the chance to the youngsters. He left like Thiago Alcantara, a crazy good midfielder who I really like. Shame he gets a lot of injuries. He left De Gea, Manchester United goalkeeper, out as well. But then look, he still seems to just pick them, them players that a lot of people will not agree. A lot of fans will be against him, yeah. But then look, it seems like he's working and he's still playing that style of football. Looking in the Nations League as well, they went and beat Portugal to qualify for the last four. They call like the semi playoff. I mean, it's just so much. What do you mean of like Luis Enrique, the players he could have, this performance, basically everything I say, my man.
Yeah, of course. So the one thing in Spain, Luis Enrique is not liked by the media a lot. He doesn't give a lot of information out. He doesn't. He's thought us to be very conservative, like with the ball, with the team, and everyone's always sort of in Spain. Everyone's never liked that about him so much. But I think this performance shuts him up real quick. Like Spain has never performed well in the first game of any major tournament in the last 12 years, let's say, right?
Very true. They actually lost in 2010, the first game, and lost and won the World Cup.
To Switzerland, yeah, and then
And
that 2012 Euros we tied with Italy and then beat them 4-0 in the final. But it's like that first game, and what I didn't really understand was why Spain was going to go to Jordan, and they played the whole entire roster played. They made 11 subs, and then the whole roster played the entire game. And I realized it was just to get them in that mentality that's like that was the first game of the World Cup. Now let's play the second. And it was like Spain's never had that mentality going in. It was always like we'll build as we go. But it was like this was game two for Spain. Spain was already one game in, and everyone else was waiting for the first game. And I think that Luis Enrique purposely did that, and I think it was just brilliant. And again, the squad selection, like I said before, like there was a lot of things that this morning I was like, what is he doing? Like what are we doing this for? And it just paid off. And I think just like nobody can really say anything bad about his selection so far today. Like I think like the worst player today on the field was Thizar, like Azpilicueta, and I think that he got the start over Carvajal. There's rumors that like Carvajal's a little sick right now, and who knows what that's to do with, and if Carvajal will actually start over Thizar. But like everything was shocking, was surprising. This team has not scored this many goals in a very, very long time, especially in a World Cup. I think the last time we scored 7 goals was against Bulgaria in '98 World Cup or something like that. It's just like this team is not known for its attack, for its forward play, for its goal scoring. And to show that we're the most dominant attack out there so far that's played in the World Cup is insane. Nobody else has scored 7 goals yet. Nobody else has kept a clean sheet with more than 2 goals, right? There's only been 3 teams that have kept clean sheets in 1 game. Netherlands beat Senegal, Ecuador beat Qatar, and then we just beat Costa Rica 7-0. Yeah. So I think this was just as of right now, this puts, like you said, it puts everyone on notice that like this team is real. This team is not these just youngsters out there just playing around. Like this team actually has a lot of quality.
Yeah, it's too much quality, too many young qualities as well. And then you got, like you mentioned about Luis Enrique with his lineup today, like clearly not once the media from Spain or no one else out there can't say anything about Luis Enrique lineup today. Was you surprised that he left Morata out of the game as well? I mean, Morata was on a bench.
So before the game, I had saw some Spanish news outlets saying that Carvajal and Morata were both sick. So I wasn't expecting Morata to play at all.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but against Jordan, I really liked how Asensio played that false 9, and I think that that's what drove. Like before the game started, I texted all my friends. I was like, bet Dani Olmo to score the first goal. Like Asensio is very good at dropping in and creating those spaces, and I think that's what Luis Enrique wanted today. Was that he wanted somebody dropping in, seeing how like the Costa Rica defense was very tight, and it was all 4 of them just it was very neat, very tight in. There was a lot of spaces out wide. And I think that Luis Enrique just wanted to see, like, if he could draw players out with Asensio playing that false nine a little bit, and he did it, and almost scored the first goal just because of that. Like Asensio pulls out, comes into the midfield a little bit, center backs chase him a little bit, and almost just it was he was there by himself. It was great. I was really impressed with all of it. And I
Yeah.
like the call, and I think Morata coming on and scoring a goal. He missed, obviously. He could have easily had 3 today. He missed that one. He missed the first one. The second one, he decided to stop running for the ball, which I think he would have beat Caleb to the ball anyways. And then he scores the third opportunity he has. But it's good. It's good to have all these guys firing away at the beginning when you didn't know who your goal scorer was going to be, and don't have a really like a that you don't have like that goal scorer, right?
Yeah.
And to get all these guys scoring early and just not being afraid to take a shot and just letting it go is great.
Hmm. I was going to ask you about, obviously, he scored a goal today, and what a team goal that was. Olmo goal was absolutely beautiful to watch. That straight away, like I said, remind me like Spain from 2010. You know, the Spain that won the Euros before, then the Euros after. The tiki taka, the sexy tiki taka that I used to call, right? That was a great finish, you know. But what do you make of Olmo? He plays for Leipzig, right? I've watched him. I'm pretty sure you do. You're the best. You're the right person to know, because you're Spanish. You follow a lot of football. You know all the players very well, inside probably as well, more than me. And I always rate him. I don't know what, for some reason, but it just seems like every time I watch, I have the chance watching him play for Spain, right? He's just that kind of player that he seems to always going to do the job, and clearly, like Luis Enrique likes him because he seems to play with Luis Enrique quite a lot, right? And but it's not that he's that kind of player that I've seen a lot of football fans out there basically underrate him a lot. What do you make of Olmo? Because Olmo is not that kind of player you really see people talking too much, right? And
Mm.
his connection today was unreal as well, with Gavi, with Asensio as well. Another surprise for me, because Asensio, shame this quality. We know Asensio has a lot of quality, you know, but it's just he seems to get a lot injured, seems to be always injured. And Madrid, he has his time, he was good, then he started getting a lot injured. And also Asensio surprised me today. He was just running around everywhere. Like, you did not see a single Spain player today not running after the ball, and also the connection between everyone, right? It was just beautiful to watch. I mean, I haven't actually seen Spain perform like this for many
Mhm.
years, right?
I think the last good performance like this was the final of the 2012 Euros when they beat Italy 4-0.
That
That
final
was a
was good
that
as well. Yeah,
that was the performance I got today. It was like everyone's mentality was, we are here to play, like we're being written off a little bit, like, but we're here to play. And I think, like, for me, the best part about Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres and Asensio is that those guys right now are building names for themselves, right? They're not he doesn't Olmo isn't always on the team sheet for Leipzig. Ferran Torres is not always on the team sheet for Barca. Marco Asensio is not always on the team sheet for Real Madrid.
very
But
true.
these guys know that, like, here they have the opportunity to play a lot, and they're going to create a name for themselves, and they're going to do it, and they're going to play smart football, they're going to play passionate football, and they're going to play good football, and that's
That's
exactly what
how
they did
they
today.
was doing today. I absolutely agree with you, and that's a very, very good point. You basically, you know, your name basically players. They're not the main stars for their clubs as well. They don't seem to always get picked to play for their clubs. But then you saw today, right? They showed the hunger. They showed that, you know, look, we're in here with our nation. They, I mean, it was just unreal. They work right as well, and the movements between them three is that they actually have that quality that they can play in multi positions up
Yeah,
front. You
yeah.
know, Ferran Torres, he can play in the left, he can play in the middle, he can play in the right. The same goes to Olmo and Asensio. We've saw this kind of three players up front playing in different positions for the club. And when you have this kind of quality with the creative midfielders, you go like Gavi, then you got Pedri, who are top class players that create so much and create so many spaces around them as well. Then behind that you've got Busquets, who, okay, he hasn't been amazing for Barca, but Busquets is in this generation, without doubt, one of the best defensive midfield that we've seen this generation, and that connection between all of them. And then you had today Jordi Alba on the left side, running down the left side like this was the Jordi Alba I saw winning the Champions League with Barcelona in 2015, right? That
Yeah.
performance. And you've mentioned about Aspilicueta today, he was actually okay. That second half, he seems to just start picking up a little bit, like running up and down. And I prefer to see him as a centre back because I think our back three he seems to do better. Not with back four. I don't really rate Aspilicueta as when he play with a line four. Sorry, a line of four. But in second half, he was starting picking up a little bit, but it was just a performance and a big shout out as well. I know Costa Rica couldn't really get halfway through Spain line, but then you saw Rodrigo in there next to Laporta. These guys, they know each other very well for Manchester City, but then Rodri plays centre back, another great footballer. I think Rodri, another player that is underrated by a lot of people out there. But the talent, and he's bringing on all these players he brought on, like Morata, everyone he was bringing on, performing well as well. Luis Enrique is going to have a massive headache in the next game just because, he probably will start the same lineup. But then, like you mentioned, if Daniel Carvajal, if he gets back into the team, because apparently you say he was ill, if he gets back, he's going to drop Aspilicueta. Fair point, fair enough. But then we always hear if the team plays well, you should never change the team, right? But if he change one or two players, he most likely will because I know Luis Enrique. You know Luis Enrique very well. He probably will make at least one change, let's say,
Hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
then in the last game, he knows he can't trust anyone, and they're all going to be confident after this win. So if the next, even in the last game, they will probably change. Luis Enrique probably going to go out there and change 4 or 5 players, but it doesn't matter. It's still so much quality that he will play for Spain. I mean, he's just crazy. What a performer! People, one quickly thing. I'm sorry that I can't really go into live chat. I would love to hear. There's so many comments in here, but I've been having a lot of problems for some reason. This is the first time that happened to me. I'm really sorry. My computer has been very, very slow. I might need an update, and I really apologize for that. It's just been crazy with the internet. But look, Alexandro, I don't know how long you got left, man. I still got maybe 2 more questions to ask you if you don't mind.
Go for
Got
it.
a
Yeah.
few minutes because I enjoy. You got an amazing football knowledge. I did a podcast with you last week, and I enjoy meeting you, and your football knowledge is really, really good. And of course, you're helping me so much coming along to my channel. And so, yeah, how far can you see? Okay, the performance today might will help you, yeah, but how far, and also myself, everyone in the chat, how far do you think Spain can actually go in this World Cup? I think before the World Cup, I predict them to go all the way to the quarterfinals or semi-final because it's
Hmm.
actually a weird draw because from the quarterfinal, you basically, if everyone go through, all the big sharks, right? But we've seen a surprise yesterday, Argentina. We've saw today German, and let's say all this nation, the big sharks, makes it through. How actually far you can see this Spain going to World Cup? Honestly, and I know you are because you've got very good football knowledge. You always have your feet in the ground, and I'm sure you will basically take Spain hat off as a Spanish, and you're gonna be honest how far this Spain can go.
Yeah, I still agree with you. I think the quarterfinals is hopefully it gets further, but I do. So based off the draws right now, if Brazil and Spain both come out top, they'll play each other in the quarterfinals. And I think that is just going to be. I hope this performance can continue, but I do that that back line, that midfield. It's just you're playing a different team, right? Those are incredible. That Brazil team is an incredible team that has. We were talking about this the other last week. It's just like that Brazil used to be spark and flare, and now this year it's all rounded. It's everyone that whole team is just so well rounded. It's so hard to think that anybody can actually beat them this year. And I think that it's gonna the midfield battle that Spain had, the ability just to play around everyone today. I think it's gonna be very hard for them to do against the Brazil team. especially with a Casemiro who knows all these guys very, very well. Um, with a Neymar who knows where he ends up playing, with a Paulinho, with a Vini, with a Rodrigo, with a defense that is not going to let up 7 goals, like with Militao, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, and two of the best goalkeepers in the world in that roster. So I really think that if I were to think logistically and logically, it'd be that Brazil team would be the ones to take us off. But if we're able to beat that Brazil team, oh my God, there might be no stopping this team.
Yeah, look,
Um,
Alexandra, I absolutely agree with you how you describe in Brazil, but look, Argentina was one of the biggest favorite, right?
yeah.
German is German. Now, I expect German. To be honest, German today, first half, second half, at the beginning of second half, they had the chance to go to nil up, but then Japan, what that second half, it was just unbelievable. When they went 2-1 up,
But
that's it.
but
The
I
game.
but after this game, I expect Brazil tomorrow to just go out and just score as many as possible. They've seen this, that they're seeing the headlines right now, and they are not going to let this be the headline for much longer. I think tomorrow they're going to go out and they'll put 5 in against um, who they play tomorrow. They have
Serbia.
Serbia tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they easily go put 5 against Serbia, just to
You
show that this
think
is like I
that's a big
I
pull, my man.
I have to think that after this line, they're not going to let this be that this is their World Cup. Like they're the number ones going into this World Cup. They're the big favorites. Everyone has them as favorites. I've seen Argentina just collapse against Saudi Arabia. They know that like this is not that Copa America final is not going to happen this year. That they have the way better team. I just can't think that they're going to let this headline be the headline for too much longer. And they're going to go out there and be like show that Spain's not the only dominant player in the World Cup right now. And obviously, again, England also had a dominant performance.
Mm,
Um, but I
yeah.
think that they're gonna go out and just show it. Like other teams can have dominant performances too, even though nobody's really shown it yet. I think Brazil is gonna go out and show that they are also still top, and that
Yeah,
it's
I've said to you when we did the podcast last week. I said I think it's going to be a very tough game for Brazil because you clearly can see that the first game Spain wasn't nervous, but Argentina was, Germany was, even France are a little bit nervous yesterday. But there's so much quality as well in that squad. Netherlands they beat Senegal 2-0, but they wasn't better than Senegal. I thought Senegal was the better team. And but then you saw England as well. What a performance! I mean, is that a wake up call for all the Sharks as well? England performance, but then you got Brazil, who is the highest favorite for this World Cup. Yeah, do you think the pressure? Them being this high favorite, do you think might get into them? There's a lot of quality. Don't get me wrong. Look, you made some very good points about Brazil squads and how they may turn up tomorrow. But then, look, it's just so hard. Football, you know football so well, and I'm pretty sure you, inside of you, you have that feeling that, yeah, but at the end of the day, anything can happen,
of course,
It's
of
just,
course, of
the
course.
game is so beautiful, my man, honestly. The game is so beautiful that anything can happen. But when you look at Spain today, there was no shake. There wasn't worries about anything. There wasn't anything. I thought, like, did Luis Enrique took everyone to Pizza Hut before the game, or like, did they had the best breakfast that they ever had in their life to perform like this? Come on, this is another one I'm going to ask you. I know we had an amazing performance from England as well, but was Spain performing today the best that we have seen in this World Cup so far?
I think so. I think that the what differentiates it from the England from the France games, I think, is just that 0 shots on goal, zero like zero. Unai Simon made 0 saves. He literally touched the ball a couple of times to distribute it. It was I think that showed more dominance than letting Australia score 1 goal early against you, giving up a penalty late in the game for Iran, and giving an early goal as well. I think that's what separates this from being sort of like the best performance so far in the World Cup. It's just that there was no offense whatsoever from Costa Rica. Costa Rica had to sit back and just take it the entire time.
Yeah.
So I think that was, I think that's what makes it the best performance.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I saw England game. amazing performance. I think, like Iran was very poor, but also give credit to England. They was really good. The same today. Costa Rica was very, very, very poor, but then Spain was very, very good. So it was a mixture of both, yeah. And
Mhm.
overall, we had Saudi Arabia for their performance yesterday. It was amazing against Argentina, and today Japan. That second half, that I would say that gap in second half between like 60 minutes until 75 minutes or 55 minutes until 75 minutes, that 20 minutes Japan was unreal. What a performance with the subs that the coach made as well. It completely changed the game. But
Mhm.
I would have to say this Spain, because this Spain was just no merci. There was no hola. It was just famous Spain through the first minutes till the end. And the funny
Yep.
thing was, is that, England still conceded 2 goals. They were still making a few mistakes, but then Spain was 1-0 up, 3-0, 5-0, and they will still go on and go on that hard that they wouldn't let Costa Rica breathe. They wouldn't let Costa Rica even have a chance to try and fresh Spain with a cross, with a dangerous cross. They couldn't even do that. I mean, who watched this Spain today will look. I'm actually just trying to get into my head now their performance, because I'm trying to actually stop and actually thinking for a few seconds that they did not let Costa Rica breathe. From minute one till the end was just Spain, Spain, Spain. They want more and more. 6-0. And do you believe what? I had to make the picture to make for this live stream. I was watching a game on my phone trying to make the picture, and I had about 4 pictures. I had 4-0, then I had to change to 5-0. And I was like, surely Spain just going to slow down, right? And I thought Spain was going to slow down. And I was like 6-0. And I was like, let me change this score again. 7-0. And I was like, let me change. I actually had a picture with 8-0 as well, because, it was just going on and on. And I was like, wow. And I was like, this Spain just did not let Costa Enrique breathe. But for me, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure everyone in the chat, people, I will, before I leave the stream, I will try to go with everyone in the chat. But yeah, definitely the best performer. I would say nothing in this world is perfect, but Spain today was sexy and perfect. And like I said, La Furia Rosa is means, the red fury in Spain. I mean, what a performer. Fair enough, fair play. And yeah, for me, that's a big call for every shark out there. Watch out this Spain, because there's a lot of talent, a lot of young talent, and they have the hunger as well. They want to come into this World Cup. They want to prove why they play at top high level in great clubs like Madrid, Barca, and clubs around Europe. But yeah, look, my man, really, really pleasure to have you, and I really appreciate you coming along. It was half an hour, it's been 33 minutes, let's say 25 minutes, because the other 8 minutes the stream did not want me to have a good stream today, and I really apologize that. And everyone in the chat, they know there's a lot of people following me for a long time since I have my YouTube channel, and honestly, this never happened to me. And I'm telling you right now, this was Piers Morgan, because I've told Piers Morgan the other day that who does not subscribe to my channel, I will make sure I tell Piers Morgan. And today the internet just went bang. But yeah, my man. Anything you want to say before you go?
No,
And
just I'm excited to watch these next couple of games, and I'm excited for this Germany Spain game. It's gonna be a pleasure to watch. And I'm very excited. I'm just hoping that the young talent, obviously the old guard will keep their heads down and won't let this game go to their head. I'm just hoping that Gabi and Olmo and Asensio and Ferran Torres can all just realize this is one game. There's many to go, and just keep playing this way and not let this just get to their heads. So
yeah,
hoping Busquets and hoping the Luis Enrique just keeps them in it, and just they can just keep playing like this, and this will just be fun soccer, fun football to watch. So
yeah, definitely, my man. Like, big up to you, big shout out to you to coming along, making an effort, because I know you haven't really got much time, because you live in New York right now,
yeah,
is it?
yeah, yeah. So
I
it's
know.
2 o'clock here.
Yes, and then you got quite a few things to do. So look, I can't thank you enough to come along, and you know what I mean. And like I said, when I wasn't even planning to do a stream today, and I told everyone yesterday, right? And I say, look, I'm gonna have a break today because I just been non-stop. And but I thought, with a performance like this, come on, even if I was at work or even if I was in the toilet for 2 hours, I would still hold my phone and do a live stream. The perform the performance was just that good and sexy that I couldn't avoid not to do a live stream, because I'm pretty sure people love to hear myself and yourself, because like I said, I'm gonna say once again, your football knowledge is absolutely spot on, and a massive
Thank
thank
you,
you
brother.
to you.
Appreciate that.
And if you want to say anyone in the chat, if they want to follow you on your social media, it's basically Alexandro. It's basically the same name that we've got in here. Let me just try to quickly hide, because it seems like he's actually working now, right? So yeah, make sure you follow Alexandro on social media. He got Instagram. I follow him, so you will see that he's on my Instagram. And my man, big up to you, and just drop me a message if you want to come along.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you having me on here, and till next time, and to the next Spanish win.
Definitely, man. Look, God bless you, and I really appreciate you coming along. And I will speak to you soon, my man.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Bye bye. Ciao. Adios. So yeah, people, really apologize. My internet wasn't working properly. I don't know what Pete's Morg's done to my channel, but yeah, I'm gonna try and go on with everyone in the chat now. So yeah, sorry. Alberto says, I know it was only Costa Rica, but that was a big statement from Spain. Spot on, Alberto. I like that, and I absolutely agree with you. Lemmy Frommenberg says, don't put the blame on Navas. Yes, he had a bad game, but the whole team let him down. Spain was just so good. Absolute spawn. I agree with you. I thought today, Spain, it was just a mixer of both. Spain was very good, but also Costa Rica was very poor. You have to blame the whole Costa Rica. They didn't even had one shot on target. They couldn't even create one chance. I mean, it was crazy. Big up to goal difference. My brother says Spain was so dominant. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Big morale booster for Morata. Yes, definitely. I thought he was going to start a game. He didn't, but then, come on and then score a goal. And he was actually playing well as well. And also goal difference says, but I think he still can't be trusted. Yes, for sure. And also, Ores, big up to you, my brother. The goal difference says needs to shine on the biggest stage to prove themselves. Great points. Japan and Spain to qualify out. I think you predict Japan and Spain to qualify before the World Cup, if I'm not wrong. On my live stream, you did. MR says, almost we dominate Costa Rica. We really need to play a very good game against German. I mean, you got all the confidence today, to go into the German game. I think you have all the confidence in the world to go and beat German. After that German performance, I was shocking. I mean, their first 45 minutes wasn't too bad, but it's not the German that we're used to. And then let Japan come back, the way they did. Also give credit to Japan. I mean, what a performance that was from them. But yeah, look, people, big up to everyone in the chat. My man of the match today, I said, right, I would have to give to basically the whole Spain team, even the ones that come on. I thought I was on fire. Every single one deserved. But if I had to pick one player, I would probably say Gavi. Gavi had an amazing game. He scored one goal and he also had quite a few assists, right? He had, I think it was 2 assists he had, if I'm not wrong. Was it 2 assists Gavi had? I mean, it was just crazy. 2 or 1 assist. Did he had? I can't even remember if he actually had. I'm actually trying to figure out now to actually see how many assists that Gavi actually had. Let me just check. No, I don't think he actually had. Yeah, but what a performance! He was everywhere. Like I said at the beginning of this live stream, I haven't actually seen Gavi performing like this for a long, long time. Probably since last season with Barca. It hasn't been that great this season for Barca. But yeah, what a performance by every single one. And big up to everyone in the chat, people. You're watching this, make sure you smash the like. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, and I really appreciate the support. But yeah, what a performance, which is so good. so good to watch. And for me, yeah, definitely the best performance in the World Cup so far. Wow, that reminds me that Spain tiki taka, from 2009, 2010, 2012. I mean, wow, what a performance! Good connection between everyone. Every single one had an amazing performance. But yeah, people still got quite a few people watching me, about 9 people now. Leave your thoughts on a chat about Spain performance today, 7-0. That was sexy tiki taka to watch. And let me go through the top comments in here. I might have missed some. Look, I was just the first few minutes of this stream, my internet was just all over the place, wasn't working properly. Lemmy Frommenberg says, "Well done, Spain. Great game. I can say nothing today." Absolutely agree with you today. Was absolute amazing. I've gone through gonna say Spain was what fucking fantastic. Yes, my man. Too good. But yeah, people, look, like I said, big up to everyone. I really appreciate the support, and I apologize again for having some issues with the internet. Look, it happens. First time that ever happened, we we all got through it, signal problems sometimes, but it is what it is. And I will see you guys very soon. Football Ferreira will be back tomorrow with Portugal Ghana. I'm going to review the Portugal Ghana game tomorrow, and also I'm going to review the Brazil against Serbia tomorrow. So make sure, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and also make sure you got the bell on, because tomorrow, straight after the Portugal Ghana, I will be live to review the game, and also will be live straight after the Brazil Serbia game. That's going to be some interesting games to watch. And I'm hoping, games like today, plenty of goals like Spain won today. And yeah, much love to everyone. And I really appreciate the support. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.